is Huck. Today I'm going to share some of my healthy food recipes, which will save you money, approximately 80%, save you time, and will produce increased health benefits. I'll also show you the delicious food each recipe produces. In today's recipes, Hunza bread, almond butter, and thick Italian sauce for pasta. The Hunza bread, it's recipe number 635. Place into a large bowl the following: 1/2 cup of tofu, 2 tablespoons of almond butter, 1 teaspoon of balsam, 1 carrot shredded, 1 cup of sifted whole wheat pastry flour. Mix and place the entire bowl into the oven for about 30 minutes and turn to the lowest warm. I'm going to go ahead and reread this. Place into a large bowl the following: 1/2 cup of tofu, 2 tablespoons of almond butter, 1 teaspoon of balsam, 1 carrot shredded, 1 cup of whole wheat pastry flour sifted. And of course, place the bowl into the oven for 30 minutes, turn to the lowest warm. Now the last time I made this recipe, I multiplied it times 4. Okay. Now for the yeast, place into a cup the following: 1/4 cup of finger warm water, 1 tablespoon of sugar sugar or agave nectar, 1 tablespoon of yeast or 1 packet. Mix and set aside until yeast rises, and it'll rise right in the cup. After that, take the bowl from the oven and add the yeast and stir. Then put the bowl back in the oven for 30 minutes and the dough will rise. Every once in a while, like maybe a half hour after, or maybe 25 minutes, 30 minutes, take the bowl out and just stir it. Now, depending on how you want to make this, whether you want to multiply it times 4 like I did, or just make it the single recipe, either way. However, what you're going to do is line a cake pan. In my case, I lined 2. And this is what I ended up with: 2 of these beautiful loaves. Anyway, it goes into the oven at 350 for 40 or more minutes. If the bread happens to be thick, let's say you use a smaller cake pan, and of course you're going to have to put the toothpick in the center to make sure it comes out clean, because the thicker it is, it takes longer to bake. Anyway, let cool and put in the refrigerator for 3 days due to the yeast. Anything with yeast, you wait till 3 days after. Then you can eat it. Okay, that's Hunza bread, recipe number 635. I'll put that right there. Thick Italian sauce for pasta. Place into Vitamix the following. And you'll have to do this several times because we're dealing with, 22 tomatoes, and it wouldn't fit in one blender. Okay, 4 cloves of garlic, 2 teaspoons of balsam, 22 tomatoes. However, 12 will be cut into bite size to make the sauce a little thicker. Because remember, you're not adding any water. Anyway, you're going to pour that into a large pan, at least 10 by 10 round, and at least 5 by 5 tall. Then you're going to add 2 tablespoons of oregano, 2 tablespoons of Italian seasoning, 2 carrots shredded, 1 stalk of celery cut small, 2 bell peppers cut small, 1 onion cut small, and 1 can of olives, cut each olive into 1/2. You're going to stir it for 2 hours. you're going to boil for 2 hours and stir occasionally. I'm going to reread the recipe. It's a very simple recipe. This is called recipe 1006, thick Italian sauce for pasta. 4 cloves of garlic, placed on your high-speed blender or Vitamix. 2 teaspoons of ball salt. 22 tomatoes, however, subtract 12 because you're going to cut the 12 into bite size and put that in the pan immediately. Anyway, for these first 3 items, you put them in the Vitamix and pour it into the large pan. And then, of course, add 2 tablespoons of oregano, 2 tablespoons of Italian seasoning, 2 carrots shredded, 1 stalk of celery cut small, 2 bell peppers cut small, 1 onion cut small, 1 can of olives, cut each olive into 1/2. Boil for 2 hours on low and stir occasionally. That's recipe 1006. And of course, here's the sauce. It looks thin, but it's not. You can see some tomato, and there's an olive and some onions and carrots. I'm going to go ahead and put this over here. Almond butter. Roast 6 pounds of raw almonds, placed on cookie tray, and bake 325 for 35 minutes. Let cool for 2 or more hours, and then grind by placing maybe 2 to 3 cups in the Vitamix or high-speed blender. And you're going to have to be patient because it takes time. And believe it or not, it will turn into a soft, the longer you blend, it'll turn real soft. Like this. Creamy, very creamy. So be patient and get your plunger and move the almonds back to the blaze. It does take a little bit of time, but at least you know what is in your almond butter. Very simple. Again, this is recipe number 13. It's almond butter. Now you can increase the recipe size. I usually process 24 pounds at a time. That way I don't have to keep on producing almond butter. It lasts me at least a couple of months. I'm going to reread the recipe. Roast 6 pounds of raw almonds, place on cookie trays, and bake 325 for 35 minutes. Let cool for 2 hours or more. And then grind in your high-speed blender or Vitamix. And with the, while it's in the Vitamix, move the almonds down to the blade. And just let it work itself, and then you'll notice when to stop when there's no chunks and it's real creamy like this. And that's recipe number 13, almond butter. Your body will appreciate this food. Share with families, friends, and strangers. Any questions, comments, suggestions? I will respond before next recipe reading. I have found that after 15 years of research, eating food based on true health, which is balanced, looks good, tastes delicious, and does not harm the body. This should not be a hard choice to make. Until next time, healthy eating to you.